Hola amigos, as usual, buenos días, buenas tardes or buenas noches. Bienvenidos a la Escuelita de Español. I hope you've been doing very good. To be or not to be? The endless question of which verb to use in Spanish, ser or estar, will be answered in today's segment. Ser and estar are two irregular verbs and both of them mean to be in English, although they're used very differently. Let's go straight to what is the difference between ser and estar. Ser is used in a simple way to talk about what something is, like a more permanent state, to describe characteristics that are an essential part of the thing that we're talking about. Whereas estar is used to talk about the how something is. So we use it for things like conditions, locations, emotions, and actions, the more temporary states. I'll explain when to use each one in a moment, but first let's see what they look like. So here's how to say I am, you are, they are, etc. using both ser and estar in the present simple tense. So as you remember from the previous class, we learned pronouns. So just to recap on that, pronouns, yo, which means I, tú in the informal way, which means you, él, he, ella, she, usted, which is the formal way of saying you, nosotros or nosotras, depending on the gender, means we, and ellos, ellas, which means they, depending on gender as well, and ustedes, which is the plural form for usted, which means you. So this is what the verbs ser look like. We have soy. So if we say yo soy, it means I am. Remember, we're talking about the what. When you use the verb ser, we're talking about the what. What are you? So if you want to say I am something, you say yo soy. If you wish to say you are something, you say tú eres. You wish to say he is something, you could say él es. She is, ella es. Usted es. Usted es means you are. Nosotros or nosotras somos. We are something. Ellos or ellas, they are something. Ellos, ellas son. And finally, ustedes, which means you in the plural way, ustedes son means you are. So let's go over ser. Yo soy, tú eres, él es, ella es, usted es, nosotros o nosotras somos. Ellos o ellas son. Ustedes son. Those were the conjugated forms for the verb ser in Spanish. Now, let's look at the how. In Spanish, we use the verb estar. So if you wish to say I am, and you want to describe an emotion, for example, you could say, I am happy. Yo estoy contento. Or yo estoy feliz. Tú estás feliz. Él está feliz. Ella está feliz. Usted está feliz. Nosotros estamos felices. Now, we change feliz to felices because we are speaking of more than one person or person. So we say plural form of feliz is felices. So nosotros or nosotras estamos felices. Ellos están felices. Ellas están felices. Ustedes están felices. So let's explain each one of these individually. Now, when we say yo, we're talking about I. Isn't that so? Yo. So whether you want to say I am something, or I am doing something, or feeling something. In Spanish, you say yo soy or yo estoy. Since the conjugation for yo is only for that subject pronoun, we could omit the subject pronoun, meaning we could not say the subject pronoun and simply say soy or estoy to say I am. The reason for this is that since the conjugation for yo is just for that pronoun, we don't need to specify I because soy or estoy is referring to me, to I. So instead of saying yo soy or yo estoy, we could simply say soy or estoy, accompanied by the complement of the sentence. Tú, in the informal way, you, we could say tú eres or tú estás. In this case, you can also omit the subject pronoun and simply say eres or estás to say you are. Again, you could say tú eres or tú estás to say you are. But since the subject pronoun is only for this, you could say eres or estás to say you are. For the subject pronouns él, ella, and usted, which is you in the informal way, we use the conjugated verb es or está. Since él, ella, and usted share the same conjugation, it is very important to use the subject pronoun, that is, es or está, you use it with él, ella, or usted, to make sure we know who we are talking about. So, you need to say él está or él es. You need to say ella es or ella está, or usted es or usted está. Nosotros and nosotras. Both of these means we are. So if you would like to say we are something or we are doing something, we can say nosotros or nosotras somos. Nosotros or nosotras estamos. Remember that nosotros includes you, and it is in regards to a group you are part of, in which is mixed or all males. Nosotras somos or nosotras estamos also means we are, but to say nosotras, you need to be a female and be referring to a group that you're part of and made up of only females. For the pronouns ellos, ellas, and ustedes, you use the conjugated form son or están. Since ellos, ellas, and ustedes share the same conjugation, it is important to use the subject pronoun to make sure we know who we are all talking about. Ellos son or ellos están means they are. Remember that ellos is used to talk about a group of males or a mixture of males and females. Ellas is used to refer to a group of only females. We will now take a look at the verb ser and we'll be using the word bueno, which means good, to make simple sentences about this permanent characteristic. So repeat after me. If you'd like to say, I am good, in Spanish, you will need to say, yo soy bueno. Yo soy bueno. Say that. Yo soy bueno. Very good, muy bien. Remember to make the necessary changes based on gender and number. Now, let's say you're a boy. You could say, yo soy bueno. But if you're a girl, you say, yo soy buena. Yo soy buena. Repeat that. Yo soy buena. Muy bien. Now, if you'd like to tell your friend, you are good. In Spanish, you say, tú eres bueno, if he is a boy. Tú eres bueno. Tú eres bueno. Now, if your friend is a girl, you could say, tú eres buena. Tell your friend, tú eres buena. Awesome. Now, let's talk about él, which means he. Él es bueno. Él es bueno. He is good. Say that. Él es bueno. If it's a girl we're referring to, we say, ella es buena. Ella es buena. Could you say, ella es buena? Muy bien. Now, in English, we have the pronoun it. We use it when we're referring to things, objects. And as we said, in Spanish, there is no particular translation for the word it. So in Spanish, if you're referring to something, let's say we want to say, something is good. The dog is good. We say, es bueno. Es bueno. Say that. Es bueno. Genial. Now let's look at we are good. Because we are. We are good. If we're referring to a group of only boys, or we are female and we're in a group where there is at least one boy, we say, nosotros somos buenos. Now we change bueno to buenos because we're talking about more than one person. So we say, nosotros somos buenos. We are good. Now, if you're a female and you're in a group of only girls, then you say, nosotras somos buenas. Again, we change bueno to the female plural form, which would be buenas. Nosotras somos buenas. Let's say we want to refer to our friends. We want to say, they are good. They are good. In Spanish, we say, ellos son buenos. Remember, ellos is used for groups of only boys or a mixture of boys and girls. So, ellos son buenos. They are good. Repeat that. Ellos son buenos. And for groups where there are only girls, we say ellas son buenas. Ellas son buenas. And lastly, ustedes. Remember usted and ustedes. Usted is the formal way of you in Spanish. You could say usted es bueno. Usted es bueno. To say you are good. You could say usted es bueno or usted es buena to your teacher or to your parents. Try that. Usted es bueno. Great. Now say usted es buena. Muy bien. For ustedes, we say ustedes son buenos. You could tell your parents, you are good. Ustedes son buenos. Awesome job. Now we'll look at the other verb that also means to be in Spanish, but in a more temporary state. That's the verb estar. For this example, we will use the emotion of crying, which in Spanish means llorando. Cry means llorar. Cry means llorar. But since we're using the continuous tense of crying, in Spanish we say llorando. Remember, double L makes a Y sound. So we don't say llorando. The double L makes a Y sound. So we say llorando. Let's try this. If I want to say, I am crying. I am crying. In Spanish, I would use the personal pronoun I, which is yo, and the conjugated verb of estar, because estar is referring to temporary states. So since crying is not a permanent state, we say yo estoy llorando. Yo estoy llorando. Say that. Yo estoy llorando. You could use different words as well. Instead of saying crying, we could say smiling. Yo estoy sonriendo. Now, let's look at tú, which is the informal way of saying you. You are crying. Tú estás llorando. Tú estás llorando. Repeat that. Repitan. Tú estás llorando. Muy bien. Now let's look at he is crying. In Spanish, we say él está llorando. Can you say that? Él está llorando. Good. Now, if you want to refer to a girl, she is crying, then you say ella está llorando. Say ella está llorando. Muy bien. Now, for we are crying, again, if you are in a group of only boys and you are a boy, you say nosotros estamos llorando. Nosotros estamos llorando. If this group that you're in has a mixture of boys and girls, you still say nosotros estamos llorando. Repitan. Nosotros estamos llorando. Muy bien. Now, for only girls, we say nosotras estamos llorando. Nosotras estamos llorando. We the girls, we're crying. Ellos. Ellos, just like nosotros, is used to represent only boys or mixture of boys and girls. So if you want to point and say, they are crying, you say, ellos están llorando. Repitan conmigo. Repeat after me. Ellos están llorando. And for only females or girls in a group, you say, ellas están llorando. They are crying. Those girls, they are crying. Ellas están llorando. Now for ustedes, which again is the plural for usted, we say ustedes, you all. Ustedes están llorando. Repitan. Ustedes están llorando. Answer me. ¿Ustedes están llorando? Are you crying? I hope not. Muy bien, chicos. Ahora, let's better understand how ser and estar are used with a few simple examples. So here on screen, we have an incomplete sentence. The sentence reads, yo, and as you can see, there is a blank space, and the word inteligente. Can you guess what inteligente means? It sounds similar to English. Sí, inteligente means intelligent. Now, can you tell me if that's a permanent state, a permanent characteristic, or is it just temporary? That's right. It's a permanent characteristic that I'm sure you all have. So if I wish to say, I am intelligent, so in Spanish, we say yo, we use the verbo to be, in Spanish, inteligente. Now you have to choose if it's estoy or soy. Remember, estar is for temporary and soy is for permanent characteristics. So would it be yo estoy inteligente or yo soy inteligente? So in this case, we say yo soy inteligente. I am intelligent. Great. Now here we have ella. Ella means she. Una persona muy simpática. So she is a nice person. Is that permanent or temporary? Yes, we use es because ella es una persona muy simpática means she is a very nice person. Let's look at the other option here. It says, ellos son or están cansados hoy, which means tired today. We use están. Ellos están cansados hoy, which means they are tired today. That's temporary. Awesome. Now here's a question. ¿Por qué tú de mal humor ahora? Mal humor ahora means bad mood now. That's temporary. So we use ¿por qué tú estás de mal humor ahora? Because estás comes from the verb estar. Yes. Muy bien, lo hicieron genial. You guys did great. Now, the following exercise will help you practice the difference between the verbs ser, which as you remember is for permanent characteristics, and estar, which are for more temporary ones. So let's look at the first sentence. Número 1. María blank feliz hoy. Now you need to fill in the blank space with the options está or es. Remember, both of these are already conjugated and both of these means is in English. The difference is that one is for permanent state and the other is for temporary state. Can you remember which one is for permanent and which one is for temporary states? Ser is for permanent and estar is for temporary. Great. So the answer here should be María está feliz hoy. Since the sentence is saying that she is happy today, we could tell that this is a temporary state because tomorrow, María might not be happy. Let's hope for the best, and she is. So, María está muy feliz hoy. María está feliz hoy. You could repeat that. María está feliz hoy. Say it with me. María está feliz hoy. Feliz means happy, as you can see on her face. Let's look at número 2. Los niños blank corriendo en el parque. Los niños blank corriendo en el parque. Now you could guess what corriendo en el parque means, right? Yes, it means running in the park. Now we have two options. We have option A, son, and option B, están. Now we know son comes from the verb ser, and están comes from the verb estar. So in English, if we were to say the children are running in the park, we know that this is a temporary state. So we use estar, which in this case, the conjugated form would be están. Read the sentence with me. Los niños están corriendo en el parque. Now, I know that you probably cannot say corriendo with that accent as yet. If you do, I'm giving you applauses. Now, repeat. Los niños están corriendo en el parque. Muy bien. Número 3. Ariana Grande, now you know that person, right? Ariana Grande, blank, baja. Now that word is not pronounced as vaya. We know that the J has an H sound, okay? So we say baja. Baja means short. So if you're a female, tú eres baja. If you're a male, tú eres bajo. Now, we have two options here. Es and está. Now, can you tell me, is being short a permanent state or a temporary state? We know that you do grow, right? But the term short is more of a permanent state, or at least it takes a long time to change. So in Spanish, we would say, Ariana Grande es baja. Because tomorrow she cannot change height, okay? So we use es. So say that with me. Ariana Grande es baja. which means Ariana Grande is short. Let's look at the final sentence. Yo blank leyendo. Leyendo means reading, as you can see from the image on screen. Yo blank leyendo. Now, you have to tell yourself, this is a temporary state because in a few minutes, probably I'll be eating or singing or dancing. So we know we use the verb estar. So can you guess the correct answer here? Would it be yo soy leyendo? Or would it be yo estoy leyendo? Muy bien. That's the correct answer here. Yo estoy leyendo. Say that. Yo estoy leyendo. I am reading. Excelente trabajo hoy. Great work today. Ustedes son súper inteligentes. Do you know what that means? Ustedes son súper inteligentes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's session and learned something from it. Remember always to keep practicing to improve your Spanish skills. Soy la profesora Lorraine. I'll be seeing you next Saturday. Adiós.